Hey guys, I'm going to show you two ways to document your work in indirect lighting. So I'm in my studio right now, so please disregard all of the mess. It's kind of all over the place. But I'm going to show you first how to document your work from standing over top of it and placing your work like right below a window and standing over top of it and taking a picture, and then hanging up your work on a wall adjacent to a window and taking a picture from there. So let me just switch on over. All right, so here's my window in my studio. Beautiful. There's my like little Hoya plant. So you can see that I'm standing directly over top of my little comic books here. So what you're going to do is you don't want to zoom in because it's going to make everything really blurry. You want to just move close to the picture. All right, a few things to think about in this are that pay attention to the glare that's being caused by the window. You might have to move your image a little bit further away from it so the glare's not so strong and just like washing out huge sections of your image. You also want to think about the perspective. You know, if you tilt your phone a little bit, it's going to really warp the perspective of your picture. Either way, you know, and it's going to make things look a little bit wonky. So you want to try and line your camera up with the center of your image to get your perspective as clear as possible. Another thing I want you guys to think about is, excuse me, your floor or whatever your surface is that you're documenting on. I have these ugly ass like little tile things in my studio because, you know, I paint and I'm just going to ruin my floor anyways. So what you want to do is, this is a little bit too busy with this picture and it's a little bit of a distraction. So if you can, you want to take a few sheets of paper and put your image on the sheets of paper to give it like a nice, you know, neutral background. If your image is too big to have paper, you don't have paper to do this with, just crop your photo right to the image. Don't leave any like breathing space. Like I told you guys in another tutorial, I like to leave an edge of breathing room on my picture. So once you do that, oops, sorry. I just clicked on it and this lets you change the exposure. All right, it pops up a little exposure bar in the window. It's going to be different for each phone. So I can play around with how bright or how dark my image gets. Leave it about right there. And you also want to just click on it to focus your camera. Try and stay as steady as possible, and then you're going to take a picture. Something else you can play around with is your lighting. So you can see up here we have cloudy, sunny, fluorescent, and tungsten. This lets you adjust your picture or your camera to the appropriate lighting that you're using. So you can see that tungsten, it like compensates the light by turning everything blue. So you want to pick the lighting that makes your picture look as close to what it does in life, and try and get it like a little bit as close to white as possible. But you can also just use auto, because auto is pretty good at just, you know, fixing all those corrections for you anyways. Okay, so that is option number 1. Option number 2 is pinning, taping, hanging your work on an adjacent wall. All right. Again, try and find a wall with a neutral color. Say if you have a bright pink wall or a bright blue, crop it down or hang a white paper up behind your work, or crop the image right down to your photo. So I like this way the best. I understand that not everyone can just be punching holes in their walls, so it might not be realistic of me to ask you guys to do this. But if you can, this is the easiest way to document work, because you're not going to be kind of like hunched over and your perspective won't get as warped when you're taking pictures. So there's my window, my adjacent wall. I walk up to it, I don't zoom in. I press on the image to focus, and then I snap my picture, and then I'm going to do all the rest of the editing in Snapseed. So, pretty easy. Okay, that is everything I need to tell you about that, I think. If you guys want to use a DSLR camera, that's completely fine too, but this is just the easiest way for, you know, uploading weekly.